work to see if there are things that will help the game. To me, it only makes sense to do that when you have that kind of opportunity like they're going to have here. Because shortened season, nobody's going to look at this and treat championships the same way that they'll be treated in other ways.
Right. Before we go any further, we have a question here. My friend Matt, he said, let me see. He said, "What was it like with Rutgers and Virginia Tech game? And do you think they can get back to the national level?"
I'm assuming it means Louisville. Yeah, it was incredible in 2006. It was phenomenal. Rutgers, Virginia Tech was 92. That was a little bit before my time, but it was an incredible experience. And yeah, I absolutely do think that they can get back to that level. They're having incredible success right now recruiting. I think Greg Schiano being back has really energized a lot of people, the state, everybody into it. So I think from that standpoint, it's been really good. And, as far as that night, it's one of the more memorable nights of my life. I will never forget it. And I think that, it was just the greatest moment for me was right before kickoff, seeing that place just absolutely up for grabs the way it was. So really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to see what Rutgers does because I live near their stadium, so hopefully they have a good year. But so to the back to the Yankees, what are your thoughts on Garrett Cole? And do you think obviously it's a great move right now for us, but I'm kind of concerned for the last 5 years of the contract. But what do you think he can do in this first 5 years for us as a Yankee?
I'm not going to worry about the last 5 years until I have to. I think Garrett Cole's a guy that you can already see is going to pay big dividends. They needed to get an ace. They didn't have one. No matter how much you want to believe in Severino or anybody else, the Yankees did not have an ace. They had a lot of maybe 1As, but maybe 2s and 3s. And I think he will pay great dividends for them moving forward. Where I am curious is, they've got great offense. Is that great offense going to show up when they need it the most in the postseason? That's what they need to see. So, I think ultimately, I still have questions about Aaron Judge. I know people love Aaron Judge, and I think that he's one of those guys that is a franchise-type player, but he has to be able to stay healthy. And as long as that is an issue, that's, an issue for the Yankees. So I think that from that standpoint, you have to find a way to maximize him with this. I just hopefully he can stay healthy. But I think the Yankees are absolutely a favorite in the division.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, in the league, in the American League.
So let me ask you this, and piggyback off the last question. But as a Yankee fan, I really had high expectations for Severino before these injuries. But right now, I don't know what we're going to get from Severino. Obviously, he's not going to be back this year, but maybe not even next year, depending how long he rehabs. But what do you see in Severino's ceiling now, because with all the Tommy John surgeries and everything?
I think Severino can be very good. I don't know that we're ever going to see Severino turn into an 18, 19, 20 game winner consistently. I don't. He's still very young, but we're getting further down the road here in his career where he's been around for a few years. And to me, the longer you're waiting for potential to develop, the longer you're waiting. And
right.
I think that's always going to be a problem. I think Severino, when healthy, is a very good pitcher. I think he'll be a 2. I don't think you can expect him to be a 20-game winner every year. So if I knew that Severino was going to be a 2 and they have him at the contract that they have him, that'd be fantastic. I'd sign for that immediately.
Right. So before I let you go, I know you have to prep for your show later on tonight. So before I let you go, I have some rapid-fire questions for you and 2 takes.
Go.
So out of all these quarterbacks that got drafted this year, who do you think will have a better NFL career?
Tua. I think Tua Tagovailoa will have the best NFL career of the group.
Interesting.
Yeah,
So,
I'm very high on him, and I know about the injuries. I just think this guy's got such a tremendous resume with what he was able to do. And if he can stay healthy, and then the injuries that he suffered were when he was trying to make things happen very late in plays when, frankly, the ball should have been out of his hands already. So if he learns like that, I think he'll be great.
Kawhi Leonard's laugh or Kevin Hart's laugh?
I take Kawhi Leonard's laugh.
Favorite music to listen to?
You know, I'm all over the map. I really could listen to everything. You know, my favorite band is U2, but I also like a lot of newer music too. I just, you know, a lot lately. I've been listening to a lot more acoustic stuff lately, just when I've had a chance to chill.
Favorite thing to do outside of your work?
I love playing golf. I suck at it, but I love doing it, and I haven't had a chance to do it in a while. So they just opened it back up in New Jersey. Maybe I'll try to do that at some point here soon. We'll see.
Do you think Luka Doncic will win an MVP in the next 2 years?
It depends. I mean, how, you know, I'm a strict guy when it comes to MVP in that there is a difference to me in most outstanding player and most valuable player. And most valuable player to me means most valuable to a team's success. So if we're talking about the Mavericks being a playoff contender, legit middle of the pack in the West team, then yeah. You know, he may win it anyway, just because he's so freaking good. But I think that I personally want to see him have the impact on that team winning more than anything else.
Oh, my friend Steve said, I can see Chris Carlin hustling people off the golf course.
Yeah, no, Steve. No. Listen, you'll be taking money off me. I rarely bet on the golf course because, like we saw with Jordan last night, he's like, I only bet on myself on the golf course. I don't do that. I don't bet on me because I know I'm going to fold.
So speaking of Jordan, thoughts on this documentary so far?
I've loved it. I've absolutely loved it. That was my wheelhouse, really. And, you know, getting a chance to relive it like that is great, especially in the middle of all this. But the thing about these kind of things is you always learn a few things and you always forget some of the things that happen. I had forgotten about the interview right before the finals started about the gambling stuff. So it's interesting. I definitely enjoy it. I'm looking forward to the next two parts. Going to have Charlie Ward on my show on Wednesday.
Okay.
And we're going to we'll talk about a lot about that on Wednesday.
Yeah, so I told my friends that I'm going to write a big piece on this after this is finished. So I'm going to write a big piece or blog about it and then post it so everybody can see it. So, who is the funniest person on the ESPN cast?
On ESPN New York?
Yeah, 90.7 ESPN New York.
Bart. I think Bart is hysterical. Bart. If you hang out with Bart, like, and I know that because I obviously hung out with Bart a lot at WFAN.
Right.
Bart is so freaking hysterical to just sit and listen to, and he's the best. He can make anybody laugh. He's so good.
Okay. Favorite sports movie?
Miracle's up there. I would say Miracle, obviously Rocky. I like a lot of individual sports scenes. Like for instance, not Space Jam. I see Space Jam on the screen. No, not Space Jam. Cinderella Man is a great scene where he comes back for his first fight after being out for several years and wins that fight out of nowhere. I love the comeback story.
So the last two things here, I've been asking this question to all my guests that come on the show about the late Kobe Bryant and what he meant to everyone. Whoa, what's up, Peter? Peter Rosenberg just joined.
Oh, he's probably on the air right now.
Yeah, but so my question, so I've been getting perspective from everybody on the show about the late Kobe Bryant, his daughter, and what does Mamba mentality mean. So for you, what did Kobe mean to you? Because I know that you covered Philly sports before, and Kobe being from Philly was big there. So what are your thoughts on Kobe and what he meant and his especially his daughter Gianna and Mamba mentality?
Listen, I mean, he's an incredible basketball player, and I just think that Kobe is the closest thing to Jordan that we've seen from encapsulating all of that. The mentality of needing to beat you, of needing to win, and working harder than anybody else to do it. I think that pretty much sums it up for me with Kobe.
And the last thing here, would you like to say anything to all the frontline people?
You know, we can't ever be able to thank them enough for what they're doing. I can't imagine what it's been like for them. I know a few of them, and I've seen so many stories about the people on the front line right now hanging out away from their families, living somewhere else during this time because they don't want their families to get sick. And for me, that's I can't imagine what it's like. I can't imagine what they're going through. My mother is in assisted living, and there have been people, and it's gone through her facility, and she actually had it, and she's come out of it okay, though she didn't have any of the symptoms. She had broken her hip, but I mean, right before it happened. But you see what all those people do. They're not people that make a lot of money or anything like that, and I think there's rightfully so a new appreciation for them. I'm just sorry that it took this for that to be the case, but I don't know that we'll ever be able to thank all of them appropriately.
Well said. So everyone in this chat, whoever joined this chat, please, my cousin and I, we started a GoFundMe page last weekend for this coronavirus and all the frontline people. So we've been handing out sandwiches last week to all the nurses, doctors at the hospitals, and today we handed out sandwiches to all the cops for their hard work and to keep us safe. So, and we already raised over 2K. So please, everyone, go to my link. The link is in my bio on Instagram. Everyone, please go donate. If you can, it's fine, but anything will help right now in this tough situation. We're trying to work as a team and hopefully get through this as a team. And so I just want to say thank you, Chris Carlin, for coming on today and bearing with me with all the connection issues. But
no problem.
But so I just want to thank you for coming on. You're the best. I'll be tuning in tonight's show at 7 p.m. And everyone, please tune in into Carlin's show tonight, 7 p.m. He does a great job at ESPN. And shout out to Rosenberg for tuning in while being on air. So, but everyone go follow Chris Carlin on Twitter, Instagram, and you and your family stay safe.
All right, you too. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
All right.